Welcome to Imprint, a podcast about creating a home and life you love. I'm Natalie Walton, an interior designer, stylist, and best-selling author focused on an holistic approach to homes. Each week, I'm sharing insights and interviews about the creative process to help you enhance both your interiors and well-being, as well as provide you with the tools and resources to make considered and sustainable choices with all that you create. Hello everyone and welcome to Imprint. Please forgive my voice. I'm a little bit croaky, but hopefully this episode is going to be worth the listen, even if I've got a little bit of a croaky voice, because I am so excited to share this with you. This is the question I get asked so much. I have been asked countless times over the years by good friends, by people online, about how do you manage to create and grow your online course business? How, do you do it? What's worked? And I've given lots of personal advice to friends. I've actually created a huge bonus within my program, Design and Grow. And so I wanted to share some really important things for you to know if this is something that you're curious about. Perhaps you're curious to create an online course, or maybe you've got one and you really want to make it work. You want to know how you can grow it, how you can scale it, and how you can earn consistent revenue from it. Because the truth is that with online courses, you can create them once and sell them many times. And this is what gives you that financial freedom that gets spoken about so often, is that, I've seen the benefits of this. I mean, this is what supports my family. This is what pays my mortgage. This is what buys our cars and our trips and our holidays and all of those things. It is on the backbone of doing online courses. And it is also amazing because you can have such an impact with what you do. I have taught students in more than 40 countries around the globe, and it is just incredible to have that kind of impact. Actually, just today, I was doing a live for the Styling Masterclass, and I had people from Mexico in there, from the UK, from all over the world. And it's just incredible that you can connect with people all over the world. Argentina as well, just remembering, from Buenos Aires. So, to be able to connect with people in that way with aligned values, it's such a beautiful experience. And also, when you create an online course or program, it's the sort of thing that you can create once, rinse and repeat. And this is what will ultimately save your time and give you that time freedom that we so often are looking for, to not have to be sort of reinventing the wheel over and over again, but we can create something once and we can sell it over and over again. So this is what I love about the online course model. And like I said, I'm going to share with you how you can create one yourself and scale it and actually make some really good money from it. Because for me, 6 years ago, it will be 6 years in August, that I launched my first online course, which was the Styling Masterclass, which I'm still teaching to this day. And since then, since 2018, I've made 7 figures with online courses. So as I said, it has been an incredible foundation to our personal finances and helped make so many things possible in our lives. On that very first course, it was based off a workshop that I did. And in one day for that workshop, I made about $5,500, which when I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's doing like 3 house shoots and writing the features, or it's like doing 7 styling shoots. And when I actually launched the first online course, because I had so many people saying, you did that workshop, can you please do an online version? I had people in Mexico and Switzerland asking. And that first course, which I sold for $450, now this is 6 years ago, I had 32 students and I made $14,400. And what I want you to know is that you can easily make $10,000 in 10 days with an online course. There's not a lot of things that you can say that about, and you can sell that over and over and over again. So I've really learned so much over the past years in terms of how to create, launch, and scale courses. So what I've learned is how to get people to take action, how to deliver results, and I've really learned what works and what doesn't when it comes to online courses. So as I said, for you, you might be looking to add another revenue stream to your business. Maybe you want to enjoy more time, location, or financial freedom. Or maybe you want to create more impact. Like I said, you can reach a global audience, you can help more people. And this is particularly true, when you've got something that's really close to your heart and dear to you. I'm thinking of my friend Emma Taylor, who I interviewed on the podcast, quite a few episodes ago, like right back at the beginning. And she had fertility issues and she learned how to conceive naturally. And so now this is what she teaches through her online programs. And things like that, they're so incredibly rewarding. I mean, I know even just with me, not, with all of my programs, like it's so rewarding to see people learn and experience growth and transformation, within Design and Grow. I've had people, make such incredible progress, and really, it's so rewarding to kind of have that kind of situation. So like I said, there are so many different benefits. Now, I'm really going to share from my own personal experience. This is not what you're going to get on ChatGPT or a business book or even in a business degree. It really is the kind of like tried and true, tested over 6 years, many, many times, many different types of courses that I've had. And like I said, this is something that has worked for me and many other people that I've coached on as well. And like I said, I've actually got an entire masterclass it's called the Course Creation Masterclass inside Design and Grow. But what I want to do for you today, because that's just like, it's actually incredibly in depth, the training, and we don't have all that time today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 5 of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to online courses. And then I'm going to share with you the framework that I think is the simplest way to create and scale your online course. All right. So here are some of the mistakes that I see people make. The first is that you think that the market is oversaturated. Yes, there are a lot of online courses out there in the world right now. And what I would say to that is the reason is because they work. They make money. People wouldn't be doing them if they weren't making money. So it shows that there is actually a proven process. And that's just like a little tip for you. If you've got an idea for an online course, you really want to look to see that there are people out there doing it successfully, because there are millions of different types of courses and ideas for courses, but you want to see that there's a proven process for one. I mean, there are 8 billion people in the world, 333 million in the US and 26 million in Australia, 67 million people in the UK. So, if you think that the market is saturated, that there isn't any room for any more online courses, well, I think that it's because what happens is that we become attuned to what we're picking up. If we've got that interest in it, we start scanning and noticing. It's, the reticular activating system in our brain is scanning and looking. It's like that red car syndrome. It's like, oh, look, there's already so many people doing courses on, decluttering or whatever the topic is that might interest you. And so you sort of think, oh, it's oversaturated. There's too many people doing it. And it's interesting because I've been, teaching Design and Grow and sharing some tips on Instagram. I'm getting served more and more ads for other people who are doing, business courses. And it's so interesting because I never got served those before, but now I'm getting served those ads. So it's like, oh, wow, is there lots of people suddenly doing this? But it's not, like there's always been people doing it. It's just that I didn't notice. But it works in reverse as well. So, just because you notice doesn't mean to say that everybody else is noticing as well. So it's really important. The market isn't oversaturated. And there are so many examples that I can think of. I mean, like I said with Emma, that if you are creating something that there's a real need in the world, people will be drawn to that. So like with Emma, with her natural way to conceive, people are looking for answers to these things, and you can't always find them in traditional places. So, that's like a tip for you in terms of the type of course to create. The second big mistake that I see people make in relation to online courses is that you create the course first and then you sell it. Don't do this. Oh my goodness. This is something that I actually haven't even really done personally myself, but I've seen other people do it, and I've seen them fall flat on their face with it, and come across really big challenges. There's actually someone within Design and Grow who has been creating this massive, massive course for an interior design company. She's kind of been given this task, and they've created this massive course, and they were originally planning to sell it through universities, and that hasn't panned out. And so now they're looking to sell it to the public. But the thing is that really, if you're creating something before you sell it, you're not getting that feedback from the market. So it's really important to test the market, test if there's an audience for your offer, test to see what are they actually really struggling with. So start with your minimum viable product. Start with something that is like, you're helping people, but then you can learn from them at the end of that sort of foundation course. Again, this is what I'm doing with Design and Grow. Like this is my process I'm sharing with you, is that Design and Grow, for this foundation year, I'm getting feedback from people. I'm learning what's working. I'm learning what's not working. I'm sort of learning, okay, how can I improve that? How can I get people better results? But if you think exactly, the nuances of the way that people learn and what they actually really need to know. I mean, of course you can share your experience, but there is so much value in co-creating something and not thinking that you know it all, because your students, your audience, they will tell you. So it's really important that you, like I said, I would highly, highly recommend that you actually sell first and create second. And this also has the added benefit is that it gives you a deadline. You all know how much, if you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time, you know how much I love deadlines, how powerful they are to getting you to deliver a result. And it gives you that responsibility as well. Whereas I know of people who've been creating courses for years, and it just keeps getting pushed to the end of the list, to the end of the list, to the end of the list. And, they could quite possibly have made like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars from this by now. But, they just keep pushing it along the line. So if you actually sell it first and then create it, like sort of, give yourself a little bit of time, and obviously you would have a bit of an outline and an idea of what you're going to be creating, but you can create it like 1 week ahead or a month ahead or whatever it is for you. But I would highly, highly recommend that. The third mistake that I see people making is that they worry that, you're not an expert. You think, but I'm not an expert in this. Like, who am I to teach this? And so what I would let you know is that you just need to be a few steps ahead of somebody that you can help. Often you're helping somebody that you were a few steps ahead. I mean, that's true of me with both, the Styling Masterclass and Design and Grow. When I started when I started my first business, I'd never done any kind of course, and I so much wish that I had. Oh my goodness, it would have saved me so much money, so much time, so much stress, so much, so many sleepless nights. So, I think it's really important that you really don't worry about being like the expert of all experts. In actual fact, I find that you want to actually have somebody who is only a few steps ahead, because what can happen is that if somebody is too far ahead of you, it's like they can't connect with you and understand what you're struggling with. They're too far removed from that it's something that's kind of second nature to them, or they're dealing with different things in, say it's like a business program. If you've got somebody who is like, a billionaire, and you're starting to, you want to start your business, well,
A billionaire, yes, they can give you advice, but they're going to say things to you like, hire a massive team. Well, when you're first starting out, you can't always do that. You can't always have the funds to do that. There are certain things that you need to put the processes and the systems in place. Like there is certain advice that I hear online from people who are, multimillionaires and billionaires who are saying certain things. I think it's just not practical for somebody who is just starting out. Yes, it's true in theory, but in reality, it doesn't hold up. So to actually have somebody who's just a few steps ahead of you, they very much know and can remember quite acutely, where you are on your journey. So that's really important. Number 4 is that it is so common for people who have online courses to overwhelm their students with too much content. And what ends up happening is that your students don't have the time to complete the work. They get overwhelmed very quickly and they give up. Or if you think, well, maybe at the end of this, I might open up a membership, or I might want them to do another course. And they might say, sorry, I'm still trying to make my way through your other program. And this is something I've been very conscious of within Design and Grow. Sorry, not just Design and Grow, within the Styling Masterclass, because I started it 6 years ago. I recently condensed a lot of the information because I wanted to make it easy for people to get through so that it wasn't overwhelming, because, the tendency is that you can just keep adding, but is that actually helping people get the results? So you really want to be conscious of that you focus on the quickest path to get a result, that you focus on, the transformation, not too much information in terms of what you're sharing with people. And the 5th mistake that I see a lot when it comes to, selling online courses, creating them, putting them out into the world. I mean, this is really true of any business, but is that you shy away from the selling because you think it's sleazy. And what I want you to know is that selling is serving, especially when you're creating a transformation for somebody. You're not just selling something for the sake of something. I mean, well, you shouldn't be, because that's just, that really is being sleazy in many ways. But if you have genuinely got something that can help somebody, it is not sleazy to sell to them. You are helping them make a decision. You are helping them to take action. There are so many people out there that just live in the world of I don't know, or they live in the land of confusion, and they just keep waiting and keep thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And or they do a bit of trial and error and they try and fumble along by themselves. But when you actually give them an incentive to take action, then you're actually helping them experience that transformation. So it's really important to understand the role of selling. The role of selling is to literally open the door for somebody to have a transformative experience. And you're letting them know that this is available to them and you're there to help them. And if they want to get that result and you're there to help them get it, then, it's up to them to make that decision. And they need to make a decision. They either need to say, no, I don't want to do this, or yes, I'm ready. And so it's not about being sleazy, but it's helping people to make a decision. All right, so let's look at the 3 key and essential steps that you need to take when it comes to creating and scaling courses to actually make money from them. So the first step is all about the planning. And part of this is that you need to solve a problem. So when you think about creating an online course, really think about, what problem am I solving? Now, one example could be that you're helping parents who've got children who are fussy eaters. That is a really felt problem, or children who won't sleep, or, all of that. There's a myriad of different things that come with having children. And when you're helping them solve a problem, and when you're in that, when you're in that stage of a child not sleeping through the night and you're really, really struggling with it, people will do anything to solve that problem. Like they really want a problem. And if you can help them, if you put a solution to that problem, like it's almost selfish not to share that with them. So think of it in those terms. Think of it in terms of what problem are you solving? And really, like that's what should be the foundation of your course or your program. You also need to, as part of this planning process, be really clear on that person, the person that you're helping. This is often referred to as your ideal customer avatar. So you want to really know and understand, have they tried a solution before? Have they tried, if they have, like why didn't they succeed with that solution? What was missing? So really to know and understand that person in terms of where they are on their journey, what they've potentially tried before, and how you can help them in a way that's different from what they've tried before. And then there's the promise. So what transformation are you going to create for them? And really focus on selling the benefits, not the features. The second big stage of creating a course that scales is to obviously, you need to produce the course. And so the first part is the process. So this is the content creation. As I said, it's really, really important that you don't overwhelm people. And I would actually go a step further, and I would say that you don't need to invest a huge amount of money into fancy videos and fancy equipment. What you really need is to help people. And if you can help people, they don't yes, of course, all that stuff is nice and it's branding and all of those things. But ultimately, if you've got something that helps them with their problem, that's what people are interested in. And then there's the platform. So you've got to decide, how are you going to deliver this course? I have done it everything from when I very first started. It was like literally delivering via email to people who had joined inside the course. And I mean, I might have even done like a copy and paste with all the email addresses. It was like very, very basic. And I've used Teachable, and now I'm on Kajabi. And I've actually got a link. If you would like to try Kajabi for 30 days for free, you can go to nataliewalton.com/Kajabi and you can get 30 days for free on Kajabi to test it out. What I love about Kajabi is that not only can you host your course there, but it has a community. So I no longer have Facebook communities. First of all, I'm actually still locked out of my Facebook account. I'm actually glad not to be on Facebook. So, and many people who did my courses and programs said they didn't want to be on Facebook either. So to actually have a community that is separate, it's actually part of the same program rather than having it separate, such as Facebook. I think that's a huge advantage of Kajabi. And also you can have your emails, deliver your emails via Kajabi. You can set up your website. You can set up your sales page. So for Renovation Ready, we actually did the entire everything on Kajabi. We hosted the website, we hosted the course, we hosted the community, we sent all the emails. For Design and Grow, we send all our emails out through Kajabi. So it really is an amazing program. And like I said, if you're interested in going and trying it out for 30 days for free, you can go to nataliewalton.com/Kajabi. All right. The third important stage of creating a course that will grow and scale is that you need to promote your course. This is something that I see too many people missing opportunities, is that they put time and effort and heart and soul into creating something, and then they sort of send out once to their email list that, hey, I've got this course, and they're missing two really important steps. The first is that they're not warming up their audience towards this offer that they're launching. And then the second is that they're not doing a follow-up. And so there is a saying in marketing that the fortune is in the follow-up, because research shows that people often have to hear about something 8 to 11 times before they will buy. So if you think that just letting people know once about your offer is enough, it's just not. And you need to also nurture people and explain to people on this journey about the different elements of their course and addressing different objections. You also need to decide, are you going to go evergreen or have a launch model, which that's something that I would recommend at the start. How long will you have your cart open? What time of year are you going to have it open? What works in with your calendar and also your ideal customer avatar's calendar? And, like I said, how are you going to promote it? You can do things like try before you buy with a free class so you can help build up that like, know, and trust factor. There are many different ways that you can do this. All right, so let's just quickly recap on some of the big ideas that we've talked about. We've talked about some of the mistakes that people make, that people often think the market is oversaturated. And I would say that there literally are billions of people in the world, and there are so many different ways that you can create online courses, and it shows that there's a proven process. That another mistake is that you create the course first and then you plan to sell. I don't want you to do that. I want you to sell it first and then create it. The third is that you worry that you're not an expert. As I said, you just need to be a few steps ahead. Fourth big mistake is that you overwhelm your students with too much content. You need to focus on a transformation, not information. And number 5 is that you shy away from selling because you think it's sleazy. Instead, I want you to think of selling as opening the door to transformation, giving people an opportunity to change their lives. And then we looked at the 3 important steps to creating a course and scaling it as well. So there's the planning process. You've got to be clear on what problem you're solving, the person that you're helping, and the promise of your course. What transformation are you going to create? The second step is the production. So, actually creating the content. Like I said, don't go crazy with spending money on this stage. Deciding on your platform. Like I said, I've got that link for Kajabi. I'll put it in the show notes. The third step is to promote. And you really need to decide on what type of launch model that you're going to do and how you're going to encourage people to take that step with you. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope that you can see the power of online courses. And as I said, it has transformed my life, and I really believe it can do that for you. And I want you to think about, if you were to create an online course, how much money you would be able to make. Because like I said, it is quite easy, especially at the start, that very, very first start, to do something quite simply and get $10,000 in 10 days. It is very doable for all of you. So if that is something that you're interested in doing and you want to go deeper on these ideas, I will be opening doors again for Design and Grow in a few weeks. So make sure that you join the waitlist. I will put the link in the show notes if that's something that you're interested in. And I give all my templates and all my secrets, like in terms of like the nuances and the details, because it's honestly, we would be here for 20 hours otherwise. So I don't want to do that to you, but I hope that you have found this helpful. I hope you found it valuable. If you've got a friend who is creating an online course and planning to sell it, I want you to send this episode to them and tell them that they need to sell it first and then do it the other way around. And, if you've got anyone that who might find this valuable, please share it. That would mean so much to me, and I think so much to them as well. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a beautiful week and look forward to connecting again with you soon.
All of the links and info for this episode are at nataliewalton.com/podcast. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can get a direct download of the latest episode. And I really appreciate when you take a minute to rate and review, as well as share the love with someone you know who might benefit from this episode, or on social media. If you'd like to access a range of free resources, come visit my website, nataliewalton.com. Thank you to Jaeger Media for producing this podcast. And I would also like to acknowledge the people of the Bundjalung Nation where it was recorded, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I look forward to connecting again soon. I'm Natalie Walton, and you've been listening to Imprint.